Hey everybody, I felt like I should make a video with some thoughts and some things that Chris and I have talked about in the last couple days to get everybody updated and not waste our half an hour on Sunday with all this various information, and just give you some more things to pray about. And I really hope that Sunday is a time that Chris and I can hear from you guys, not that Chris and I share. Because if we do that, it's going to be a half an hour of Tom and Chris, and I really need prayer and insight from all of you. So, number one, Chris and I both agree that it went well on Sunday, that it's so amazing how all of you are up to speed already on this journey that Chris and I have been on for years, that you already all see exactly what this is and where we're going, and you just have a similar vision. So that was super encouraging, especially to Chris. He's really feeling like he's alone in this, and he has been for the most part. So thank God for that. Thank you for you guys and your hearts. Another thing let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. Number one, I think we're all in agreement on one thing. The record project has this incredible investment, this incredible thing that people have invested time and money and energy into, prayer into, is sitting on the shelf because of a lot of reasons. But in my prayer time, I really feel like the Lord's saying, and Kathy's saying the same thing, that it's sitting on the shelf because we haven't developed the ministry. We haven't developed the ministry hand of the record to release it, because God intends this record to touch people's lives, and he wants a way of further touching them. And not that they just hear a great song and have a great 5 minutes and then their day is better for a little while. And they have no idea why or where or what. But and a lot of our discussion is going around to somehow we have to connect these random listeners across the country, across the world maybe. How do we connect them to the message, to discipleship, because the music in itself doesn't have a clear gospel salvation message. It's all real. It's a lot of ideas and a lot of great stuff, but it doesn't give that one message, or that, the discipleship that leads them to Christ. And a lot to say about this, but one of the things that's been floating around in my head is, with this ministry comes first thing is, I really believe that the Lord wants discipleship to happen. He wants people to get connected with someone that disciples them. And I'm going to flip this on you and say, I think a lot of our thinking is Western church model, where we work on getting people saved and then we disciple them afterwards. And the model that Jesus used was nothing like that. He just ministered to people. He just discipled people. He just hung out with them and had dinner with them and talked with them, and he didn't try to get them to make a commitment. And I think the people that this record is trying to reach are exactly these kind of people, that this is how we're going to reach them. We have to develop relationships with them, and they have to see that Jesus is real in our life. Jesus is real in whoever's discipling them, their life, and how it applies to them before they're willing to commit. And I love this model of letting the commitment come whenever, and really just focusing on discipling and sharing the good news. Evangelism is sharing the good news. It's not making converts. So just sharing the good news with people and ministering to them and loving them. So one of the things I want to share is that Monday morning I woke up with this whole download from the Lord, and it's really simple, but it's really profound. And the whole idea is that, let's say someone listens to the record and they like this song and they see the website. They go to the website, because I do this too. When I like a band, I go to their website, I see who they are, what they're about, what's going on, and find out, if they're touring, where they are, all this kind of stuff, and meaning behind the songs and all these kinds of things. And they may go on our website And if they're interested, if they need counseling or advice, or we have to figure out how to phrase this, but almost every website I go on nowadays where you're shopping, they ask you for your zip code. And the Lord just gave me this idea of doing location services on who's checking in and say, what is your zip code? And then connecting them with someone in their city, in their vicinity, that will disciple them, that will, or at least is willing to disciple them. I mean, it's a relationship. They have to be willing to be discipled, and then we have to have someone willing to disciple them. So I'm thinking that one of the things I've been frustrated with in a lot of websites for a lot of bands and different things is that it's really hard to get to a human. There's a lot of information and layers on the website, and you can go all over the place and get all kinds of stuff. But when you have a specific question and you want to connect on a different level, in this case, like maybe, I love this song, Coming or Going. Can you tell me about what it means, what it means, or how does that apply to my life? It just really feels like it's significant to my life. Well, that kind of question is not going to be answered by a website. And so I love the idea that if they can click on a location service and connect with somebody in their region, whether it's Washington State or Arizona or Alabama or Florida or Maine or Wisconsin, they're going to get somebody that lives in their vicinity and will go out and have a coffee with them or something and just say, hey, what's happening? And so I'm excited about that. I think the real major legwork here would be developing this network, finding people willing to disciple, and then disciple the way we want them to. I mean, I don't view discipleship as, hey, come to my Sunday service on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. We'll give you a coffee and donut, and that's our discipleship. No, that's not what these people need. These people need a relationship. They need connection. And that's all good. Sunday morning's good, but I don't want just that to be their answer. And Chris and I have talked about that, how with our Rock the Lakes experience, that kind of ended up being what was the answer, was everyone just got invited to somebody's church. And didn't have a lot of effect. It wasn't relational based like Jesus did it, where Jesus hung out with people and he did not make them come to his church service. He would just hang out with them and talk with them and teach them and heal them. And so I'm rambling on here, but I just want you to think about that. And I'm excited about the idea that we could connect with all kinds of ministries and groups that would be willing to disciple. And that may also be that network of people that disciple may be the ones that can help us fundraise to get this thing finished, may be able to help us promote the record and get it out there. I mean, this might be a both ways network where we're feeding them people that need to be discipled, but they're feeding us other things that we need. They're helping us with our end. So I really believe that this record is going to be done differently than any record Chris has ever done, and the way most records have been done. I think God has a different plan, and I think we need to maybe talk to some other people in ministry that how they're doing their records too, because Bethel's reaching a lot of people, and so is Iron Bell Music, and a lot of different people are reaching a lot of people with a real mainstream message that all people can relate to, and they're not using the traditional means. So, and obviously we can't nowadays, COVID-19, we can't tour, we can't have concerts, we can't have church like we know it. So we're in a new place, and but that's okay. It's okay, and for such a time as this, maybe this is what we're all about. But I believe that God wants relationship with people on a one-on-one basis, and he wants us to disciple people one-on-one, not in massive crowds. So I'm going to stop rambling here. I think I've said enough, but I didn't want to take a big chunk of our half an hour talking about this and let you have a chance to listen and think and pray about it. So talk to you on Sunday. We are excited. I really feel a stirring in my spirit about this, and that God has a plan, and that it isn't going to be our job to invent a plan. It's to find out what He's planned. And so thanks, and keep praying, and love you all. I'm so honored to be working with all of you. I'm amazed by this. So thanks.